Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're broadcasting from the Thomas K. McKeon Center for Creativity, and I'm your host, Corey D. Taylor. I know I don't usually dress like this, but today we have a special treat for you, and we're going to do some demonstration. We have none other than Daniel Ninja Roberts. He's a former UFC fighter, and he's here to talk to us about his journey to getting to the UFC. If you want to know what it takes to make that type of transition in your life, well, you come to the right place, so stay tuned because this is Up Close with Corey Taylor. Hello and welcome back, and we are here with former UFC fighter Daniel Ninja Roberts. What's going on, man?
Hey, pretty good.
Man, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah, what you been up to, man?
Well, I been teaching jiu-jitsu. I've been focused on just jiu-jitsu tournaments and jiu-jitsu matches, and doing private lessons, and it's just been a blast. Jiu-jitsu was always my first love, so along with fighting, it is fun, but I really have a passion for jiu-jitsu.
Now, when you say jiu-jitsu, for those of us who are mixed martial arts illiterate, explain to us what jiu-jitsu is.
It's basically I'm trying to hurt you with
He said I'm trying to hurt you.
I'm trying to choke you out, or I'm trying to break your arm or leg or something and make you tap before
that happens.
Yeah, see so that's why it's such a cool concept. You don't really have to take a lot of damage because you can verbally tap or tap on the person, basically letting you know that, hey, that's too much, you got me.
Right. And now sometimes people are actually stubborn though. Don't they just hold out? Because you be seeing MMA and then they be like, I used to work with a guy by the name of Victor McCullough who was a mixed martial artist, and I actually used to manage him a little bit. So I took him to a tournament, and it was amazing that when I took him to this tournament, everybody was just kind of like, they live for this whole MMA sport, and it is a sport.
Yeah.
And so what was crazy is that he would sit there and he's like, dude better tap out right now because he in an arm bar or something, and he about to get that arm broke, and then you would see the dude to the last minute, and it's almost like you it's gonna snap, and then he'll be like tap, and I was like, ooh. So man, have you ever had an opponent that was so stubborn that you just already said, okay, I'm probably gonna have to break this or whatever
it's
hyperextend is the
it's kind of weird. Even though some people are stubborn, if you scream, that's basically a tap. So when the pain comes, it's just so hard not to say anything. So if you scream out, that's basically a tap. So it's just not that many people that can just sit there and get their arm crushed, even if they are stubborn. So they're going to yell or verbally say something, and if the ref sees it, he's going to stop it anyway if he sees any kind of damage.
So when you were out there fighting, man, what was your moment where you just was like, yo, it's too much pain, I know I'm getting ready to lose this match, but I'm just going to have to tap out?
Well, actually I did get tapped out one time in a fight, but it was more a mental thing, not taking anything away from my opponent, but I normally just tap if I am caught in a submission, obviously I don't like to tap, I like to win, but it's always better to be able to keep training, and because when you don't tap, it's severe damage depending on, pretty much any submission is going to be severe, so you really want to tap and avoid damage and keep training and getting better. So
now this is the thing, man. This was crazy. When I was working with the young man I mentioned earlier, there was something that was called 10th planet technique.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Because they used to say, yeah, I'm got to get this 10th planet technique down.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you know about that. That's well, it's like
my job as a host.
I'm actually a big fan of Eddie Bravo. He has his whole system. Basically, he's changing jiu-jitsu, and he does lots of different moves that are traditional, and it's pretty awesome because jiu-jitsu, it just keeps going. If you learn one thing, then other people are going to learn it, then you got to switch it. So it constantly, you have to constantly keep learning. Otherwise, you're going to get passed. So
exactly, because the Gracies,
the Gracies,
they're very much known. You shocked, you know all this stuff.
Oh, that's
I
good.
told you I used to manage this.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's good.
You know, Anderson Silva. I remember the first time I took him to a match.
Oh, okay.
Everybody staring at me, and I'm like, "Yo, why are they staring at me?" They was like, I was smaller than. It's like, you look like Anderson
Me too.
Silva.
Now that
And
you
I
said
was
that.
like, and I'm not mad, you know, the Spider, because
Yeah.
I got a gig on a commercial shoot because the lady loved Anderson Silva, and
Really?
she was like, "That's why I
That's
picked
cool.
you." And I was like, "Oh well, good. That ain't got nothing to say. That's not good for my acting skills, but it was because I look like Anderson Silva." So when you think about jujitsu, you know, the family that comes to mind, and of course they segmented into Gracie Baja, all of these, Gracie Barra, all these different segments. What is that whole thing with that whole Gracie? Is Gracie a philosophy like 10th Planet?
Well, Gracie, they were one of the originators of jiu-jitsu. I don't know the exact guy's name that taught Helion Gracie jiu-jitsu. He was a Japanese guy, and Helion Gracie, I believe. I don't know too much detail, so don't quote me on that. But basically, one of the first Gracies, he was actually the one that learned jiu-jitsu from a Japanese guy, and he transformed it to like smaller guys because he was a smaller guy, and he basically did more groundwork and used like a lot of leverage, and basically that worked for him because he was a smaller guy, and it still worked. And he was able to teach that he had a lot of sons, and he was able to teach that to all of them. I actually used to train out in California with Cesar Gracie. So that's a real rich family, you know. There's also some other major jiu-jitsu family. The Machados are another huge another huge jiu-jitsu family. So they were kind of the originators, and just from there on out, it just kept growing, and yeah, Gracie's they're very popular because there's so many of them, and I honestly got into jiu-jitsu and MMA when I first saw Royce Gracie, like when I first saw a little Brazilian man tapping out guys 2 times his size. I was like, what is that? I need to learn that. I want to learn that. So from that moment on, just like so many other people, I was just hooked, you know, on jiu-jitsu, and I just became obsessed with it.
So how long have you been doing this now?
Well, I started in '98. I actually wrestled, and Mikey Burnett, he was actually in the UFC at the time, and I started wrestling. He's the one that first started teaching me wrestling, and he used to have a school, so I would go there as well. And learn jiu-jitsu. So I actually learned jiu-jitsu and wrestling at the same time, which is a huge advantage. And you know, I just been hooked ever since.
So in your style of fighting, you're more of is jiu-jitsu also the grappling technique?
Yeah, that's
and so
exactly
you're
what
more
it
of a grappler versus
yeah.
a striker, because strikers are boxers types
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Anderson Silva.
I mean, I prefer to just dominate and control. I mean, obviously, I have a jiu-jitsu background in wrestling, so I'm more comfortable on the ground. But I just think it's a better way to you know, end the fight, because you know, if you get a good submission locked up, like it's done, you know. Whereas like striking, like you can knock someone out, but they can knock you out too. See, the thing about like the difference is like, if you're standing and we're throwing punches, even if you're an excellent boxer, if someone catches you at the right spot, it's lights out, like no matter what. So, and with jiu-jitsu, it's a lot more different. It's very rare that like if like you don't know a lot in jiu-jitsu that you catch somebody. Now you can hurt them like with punches and then catch them, but it's very rare that just straight jiu-jitsu that you would just catch someone in submission. It does happen, but it's just very rare. Yeah.
So now, in your tenure in the UFC, tell us how did you get to the UFC? Because you know we've had Gerald Harris on, and he told us his story of how he got. And I understand you all worked or trained together.
Yeah,
he told us his story how he got to UFC. So, do you have a similar story? How did you actually get to the UFC?
Actually, I went to high school with Gerald. He was a good buddy of mine, he still is, and we wrestled together. And I was always helping him train because I was really good at jiu-jitsu back when he used to fight. Like I kind of knew I would get into MMA eventually because I I just knew I would be good at it because I always had a strong wrestling background and I had a really good jiu-jitsu base, and I would always help him train and stuff. And then finally, I just decided to fight. And well, actually, the one thing that first got me in fighting is it was a buddy of mine that I used to wrestle with in college. Well, honestly, I'm not going to call him a buddy, but he wrestled with me in college,
Right,
you know.
right.
And he wasn't actually the best wrestler, and you know, to be quite honest, he was one of the worst wrestlers. And he did an MMA fight, and I just saw him, and he just went out there and dominated the guy. And I was like, what? Because this guy, I mean, he wasn't a good wrestler. I mean, he just knew how, like, basic stuff, like basic double legs, and he just went out there and dominated the guy. And that just kind of like, wow, he's not even good. And he did that. So ever since then, I was like, you know, I was thinking like, oh, I can do a lot better than that. So rather than just say it, I actually did it. Yeah. So
And so when you were in MMA, how long did it take you to get the attention of UFC?
I started, I think 2007 was my first fight. And from then on there, I went to be 9-0, fighting just local people all around in Oklahoma. And I got a call, I think it was 2009, to replace an injured guy, Anthony Johnson, actually. He's 205 now, but he used to fight at 170. And I actually got a call because he was injured, and they called me. So, I mean, I had an impressive record. I was 9-0. Mostly my wins was by finish, so that definitely helped. And,
So you get a call and you to replace a fighter, and I understand that's how it happens a lot of times where, you know, so many people want to be in the UFC, but they don't know it's just that opportunity. You doing hard work and working, and then somebody drops out, and then now somebody calls you and say, yo, we got to fight. You want to take it, go through your camp or whatever, you take it. And then after that, you were successful at that.
Well, I wasn't successful in my first fight, but, you know, they did give me another chance. And, you know, actually, my first UFC fight, that's my first loss, you know. But you learn stuff. You learn a lot from your losses, and you know, it was just real hard for me because, like, honestly, I just didn't think I could be beat because, like, I was 9-0. I was just finishing everybody, you know, and I got knocked out. So, but I was really upset at first, but then I began to think, like, you know, anybody can get knocked out. If I did have to pick a way to lose, and it may seem kind of weird, but it actually would be by knockout, because just for the simple fact that anyone can get knocked out. So, I mean, I learned from that experience, and I began to get a little better, and you know, just grow from it. So
wow. Yeah. So I want our viewers to know this. Can you bring the camera here? Listen, we are getting ready to do some of this stuff in studio so you can see it. So hold on to your seatbelts, because I and Daniel will be working on some of this jiu-jitsu stuff. We'll be right there. Hello, everybody, and as I promised, we're going to have an amazing show. We have a treat. I'm here with Daniel Ninja Roberts. He's getting ready to show me some of this awesome MMA stuff, but the first thing I think he's going to show me is the Ninja necktie. All right, man, so good. Okay. So show me what it is, but don't break my bones.
All right, take off your shoes.
All right, okay, cool. I got to do that. That's okay.
Okay, so a Ninja necktie is actually, you can do it a lot of different ways. So if opponent's trying to take you down like a double leg.
Mm-hmm.
Here's like
that's a double leg. So then, all right. So
but
I follow.
Actually, it's a defensive move. So actually, if you're trying to do that double leg to me, right here, I'm going to actually come around.
Okay.
So I'm falling down.
All right.
All the way around, reaching around my leg right here, and now I'm going to squeeze and apply pressure. You just tap.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
right. You hadn't even started doing it yet. And I'm like, okay, I get this move already. It's a lot different when you see it and you get to do it in person, because I could feel the pressure as soon as I was like up against your thigh, and it was kind of smothering me too. And I'm like, okay, don't. And then you squeeze in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
This
the
is
better grip you got, the more tight it's
But
gonna
I
be.
noticed it was hard for me to tap out because I can't say nothing and my arms is locked up. So how does a person tap
But
out?
sometimes it is kind of like their arms are caught or something. They can't do nothing.
So what do they do? They just kick
Well,
their
usually
leg
they
like,
kind
boom,
of start flailing. Oh, okay. They
All right.
tap, yeah.
All right, so give me another one. What's another one? So
Okay,
I'm a big guy.
Big guy, okay.
So how do you take a big guy down if you in the middle of a match? He might be your same size, but you taking a
So
match.
the
Like
thing about a big guy, your elevation is higher, so your legs are easier to get to. So it's actually a lot easier than you think. So if you're a big guy, I definitely want to close the distance. So
Okay.
right here, I'm just gonna come in,
right?
wrap around your waist.
All right.
And here now I can like step behind you,
Uh-huh.
and then I can just boom, there you
And-
go.
oh, okay,
Slam you on the
okay.
floor.
Okay,
But,
okay.
Yeah, just kind of grab around your waist and just fall. Boom.
Slam. Now I know with Gerald, that was his thing. He had did his
yeah.
last fight out
Yeah,
at one of the casinos, the joint or whatever, and then he got slammed of the night. And Quentin Rampage said he the slam king.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So when your thing is grappling, so give us a demonstration now. You showed us the ninja necktie, but give us a demonstration. What is grappling?
Grappling is basically, it's basically chokes, arm bars, leg locks. It's basically making the other guy tap out, So here, I'll just show you.
Okay. Do I need to get down or whatever?
Yeah, you can get down.
All right.
So right here, here's one of the most basic submissions.
Okay.
It's part of a triangle. So right
Okay.
here,
Right.
this is a very good position.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like it, especially for the average person. So
Right,
right here,
right.
I'm on my back,
Right.
and you're on top of me. So
Right.
I'm actually going to control one of your wrists right here.
Mhm.
I'm going to throw this through,
Okay.
spin around,
Right.
pull you down. Well, most people won't break all the way down.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because I ain't a fighter. So most people would be
Yeah, so-
like this,
So right here, they'll be like that.
like this,
Now,
trying to fight out.
I'm going to spin.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then-
All
yeah, just
all right.
tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. This brother's serious. Wait a minute, hold up. Like, this is a demonstration, man. He was like, yeah, tap. And I'm like, hey, you ain't gotta
I
tell
don't know,
me.
it's
I feel
weird.
the pressure.
You just gotta. I'm used to people tapping, even though, like, yeah, it's like you gotta tap with it.
So when you have your
Like-
students and you demonstrate to them, like, is that the thing you tell your students, like, hey, don't quit it till they tap out, even in practice?
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm not like a mean guy if you know someone's trying to tap. But I think just from all the years of just doing jiu-jitsu, like I'm just used to someone tapping to let go. But like it's just in my mindset. Like, but if I know you, are trying to tap, then I'll let go. But I think I never even really thought of that, But I think because like I knew you were tapping, but it's like, hey, you can tap me.
Right.
I'm like, let go.
He like, no, let go.
It's
He's like,
just- it's
he's
just
like, you need
instilled
to
in my
tap.
brain. Yeah.
So check this out. So if you want to know more about this, you definitely can find Daniel on Google or whatever, because he definitely has had his run in the UFC. But at this point, we're gonna go on ahead right back to the studio to finish the second part of our interview. Man, good stuff. Y'all saw he was trying to choke me out. But all right, we're gonna return back to the studio right now. Cool beans, man. All right, welcome back, and we just finished this crazy workout, man. So listen, like, this is some intense stuff, man, because even as we were going through it and everything, it's tough stuff. And I remember when I was sparring with the young man that I was managing, that was the MMA fighter. He was more of a striker, but he was working on his jiu-jitsu. I remember he punched me one time, and I was done. Like, I was like, yo, man, you win. Like, he's like, yeah. He just called me Pops. He's like, yeah, I get in my zone, and then I be ready to go. So when you step into that arena, what is your mentality like when you step in there? Because obviously, when I was talking to Gerald said, I wasn't really like a Punisher type mentality when I stepped in the ring, but obviously everybody has different deals. So what was yours when you stepped in the ring?
I don't like to, punish people. I'm just looking to get it over with fast. I mean, we don't get paid by the, second. So if I can finish a fight fast, then that's what I'm trying to do. So, I'm good at grappling, so obviously that's where I want to go. But I'm just looking to end it. Like if I can get a knockout, that's fine. If I get a submission, a TKO, I'm never really picky on the victory. I just want my hand raised. So
Wow. So let me ask this question: in your tenure, because you were in the UFC, how long?
a couple of years.
Okay.
2 years.
So in your tenure, who was by far your hardest opponent to fight that everybody would know?
Well, this is gonna seem kind of like a ridiculous answer, but it's honestly myself, cause like I did a lot of I made a lot of bad decisions, and not taking away from nothing away from any of my opponents, but there was a couple times where I just should not have been fighting. I wasn't mentally focused, and sometimes I wasn't even physically ready to fight. But I can't even remember. I think Charlie Brenneman, he was really tough. But I just wasn't there mentally, And I hate to like be like that, but I mean it's the truth. I'm not saying that I can't ever be beat, but I honestly think like my losses that I did receive, it was something going on, because it's a lot to fighting. It's not just the physical aspect. It's the mental is a lot more important than the physical, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's just you have to be mentally strong. You have to be willing to go the extra mile. And if you're not mentally able to do that, even if you're physically able to do it, then you're not going to do well.
So how do you mentally prepare? Because when we see MMA, everybody looks like they mad and out of control sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a sport. It is definitely a sport of control.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you mentally prepare to get yourself ready to go out there and endure this 2-3 minutes grueling task?
Well, you have to be focused. That's the one thing. So when you have distractions, and everyone has distractions, it's just how you can block them out. I mean, some people are able to block out their distractions better than others, and how you strategize, how you prepare. Your shape is definitely important, because no matter how much heart you got, but if you're out of shape, then that's definitely not going to work. I actually I took a couple fights that I shouldn't have, when I wasn't training and when I wasn't in shape, and I paid for it. But I think it's a learning experience though, because I kind of was, like I said, I started fighting like 2 years, and within 2 years I was in the UFC. It was never like a goal of mine since I was a little kid. I just started fighting, and then boom, I was in the UFC. So everything was kind of rushed, and I think looking back now, I would have did a lot of things different, But it's all about like, learning and growing. And I will say this, although I love MMA, but it's definitely not a sport that you want to be in a long time, because it is extremely dangerous. And I do have I have a bachelor's degree, so I'm not just some dumb fighter that has to fight. And I don't need to fight. So that's like was something that I wanted to do after college, because I know that obviously you can only fight for so long. So I wanted to just do that, get it out the way, and now I'm moved on to other things. I have some real estate. I do private lessons. I do seminars. So it definitely helped me out a lot, being in the UFC. And the one thing is I really want to do is I want to inspire people, because it was always like a point, like seeing people on TV, like, wow, look at them.
Right.
You just got to realize, like, you can do the same thing. And, and it takes that step to you believing in yourself. When I went out to California, I used to train out there. These were guys I would see on TV, and then I realized, hey, I'm just as good as them. So
Right.
you just got to believe in yourself.
So I really wanted to know this, because I noticed that everybody that fights, they all have nicknames. How did Ninja come about?
Well, when I was a little kid, kicking around, watching Bruce Lee movies, breaking my mom's furniture, it just kind of stuck with me. And, I was always real sneaky as far as like, grappling. And, that's another thing I love about jiu-jitsu is like you don't have to force a lot of things, and it's real sneaky. You can just let people fight against themselves and fall into traps. And it's really like it's really like a chess game. That's the way I look at it, like human chess. So yeah, it takes
It's
a
all
lot
about
of
strategy and outsmarting your opponent. So at this stage of the game, you said that fighting is not something that you have to do because you have a bachelor's degree. And I think that is the misconception because most people don't know Gerald as well. He has a degree. And they think that because the old UFC or the old MMA or Ultimate Fighting, it was about tough men getting in the ring and really wasn't really skill. It was about brawling. But now these are marksmen and they are craftsmen of their craft and they really go after it. So what do you say to people that think that you're just out there and like you said, you're just dumb and that's all you can do, but you're really a very intelligent guy and you look at it like a chess game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I never really let people bother me as far as their opinion. When I first got in the UFC, it did used to bug me because people used to tweet mean things and say mean stuff. But then I realized, like, hey, everybody's not happy that you're there. Some people are haters, So I just use that to motivate me. And as far as like people saying that fighters are dumb, I mean, if you love to do something, like who are they to say that I'm dumb? Like, I do something because I want to do it. I've always been that way. I never follow the crowd. I just do what I like doing, and I do what I love doing. And so that's kind of why.
So this show, Up Close with Corey Taylor, it's all about helping people to know what it would take for them to go on and be successful. In about 30 seconds, in your own words, what do you think it takes for someone to be successful?
I think it's a lot of dedication. For one, and it's a lot of focus, and it's believing. Really, it's kind of like it's not much more than that. Like if you don't think you can do something, you're not going to be able to. If you believe it, you can. That's basically it. Believing.
All right. Well, Daniel Roberts, man, thank you for coming,
Thanks
man.
for
Look
inviting
forward
me.
to having you back again.
All right.
Hope you've enjoyed our show today. I would like to thank my guest, Daniel Ninja Roberts, for joining us. Think about this. Change is inevitable, but your attitude towards that change, it is always optional. Until next time, keep looking forward.